Hi, I'm Johnny James. Musicians have a unique perspective on what they see around them. It's what makes them artists. Art, in the form of music, almost always has a connection to the world and the musician that creates it. This is why I try to pick their brains and uncover what makes them write the way they write and sound the way they sound. I invite you to join me as I do. Welcome to the Top Five. Hello, my name is Johnny James, and I am here with Casey.
Yep.
And Morgan.
Hi there.
From Vesperia, who just finished playing a blazing set at the Charlotte Street Arts Center. Excellent. You can see off the HD whenever this comes out that these dudes are very sweaty. How do you guys enjoy it?
Very much, actually. The first time in Fredericton, and it's definitely a pleasure to play here.
Yeah, for sure. And a lot of good things going for you guys. You got this big Canadian tour. You've already been to Montreal, Charlottetown, Halifax, and Moncton, now Fredericton. Where are you guys off to next?
We're going to take a couple weeks off, just regroup and get some more merch printed. Then we're off to Wretch Fest in Niagara Falls. We're playing with Wretched Pain and Green Jelly.
Green Jelly.
And then we're taking off out west. We're going to do dates right across the prairies, right out to British Columbia. We're going to be supporting cattle decapitation at Armstrong Metal Festival.
Wow, really? That's incredible. And I bet you have a lot of good experiences coming up, especially you guys have been named to Walk-In 2015. How has that kind of changed, like how people see you guys? Like, have you guys gotten any more publicity with that Walk-In nomination?
Absolutely. It's definitely the right timing for this tour, especially with that announcement that we're playing Walk-In. A lot of people are coming out to the shows now. A lot of people are sending us messages. A lot of people want to know what we're all about, and it's definitely translating to more successful shows.
Yeah, for sure. You want to comment on anything, Casey?
It really is pretty surreal that we're playing Vok, and it hasn't really sunk in within the band yet, but we've all had smiles the last couple of weeks, that's for sure. Yeah, it's a big opportunity, absolutely.
Awesome, absolutely. We'll talk a little bit more about Walk-In later, but I wanted to kind of go back to the origins of the band. And I was going through your guys' discography on your Bandcamp page and whatnot. And I wanted to ask, like, when did you guys first start, when did Vesperia start? Because I was listening to the old 2009 demo. And even back then, there was such a clear direction, and the originality was already there in the band that... Like, I'm just wondering, was the seed of Vesperia already planted like years before that release? Like, have you guys been playing like since like 06 or something like that, or like when did you guys start?
The band actually started when we were all teenagers. I was 16, Casey was 15, I think. Wow.
Yeah.
So that would have been when?
2006.
Yeah.
Well, it began when I just wanted to get some ideas down. I just wanted to hear some of my music come to life, and that was the main goal. And it's since amassed, and the goals keep reaching further and further. And then we decided to go with a name called Bolero, and we were just a straight up folk metal band with a few more extreme elements, some more raspy vocals like blast beats and the like. The music started getting a little more extreme as the members in the band were circulating, and we started doing this more epic sort of approach with a lot more different elements brought into the music, a lot more extreme metal and death metal elements. And the sound and the lineup had changed so drastically since we began, so we decided in 2012 that maybe we should change our name. So we were pouring through notes, we were just kind of hanging out and looking for something that suited us and our music the best, and we actually came across a list of candidate names for when they were deciding for the name of Canada, and we found the word Vesperia, and that it means Land of the Evening Star, and it was actually one of the runner-ups for the name for Canada.
Oh,
so
really?
At one point we might have actually been called Vesperia, and we would all be Vesperians.
Yeah.
So we thought
really?
the patriotic approach and the name itself was very, very suiting to our style, and we decided that it had that sort of mystique behind it, and had that sort of kind of aggressive, like, you definitely know that's a metal band name, and we thought it was quite patriotic at the same time. So since 2012 we've been Vesperia.
Wow. Well, I guess it's suiting that you guys are to represent Canada at Walk-In, for sure. You guys find that, like, being a band since like at such a young age has helped develop the sound well?
Absolutely. Like playing numerous shows and even writing songs with Morgan and the other guys for the last 6 years. Like we've definitely come to get the sound that we've been always wanting to have. And yeah, the last little bit we've been writing some pretty epic tunes. Yeah.
Yeah, the songs have definitely been getting better and better as I went through your guys' discography there. I want to kind of ask about like, I noticed a little bit of a pattern in your album release. You always release like a demo with the four songs, and then there's those songs again on the full length remastered, and then I noticed that with your second full length as well. Like there was a demo released before that, and I was just wondering, like, you guys put out the demo with like the rough versions of those songs that later get translated onto the full length, just to is just to like get a taste of like a crowd reaction kind of thing?
Well, as a band, it's always important to be constantly releasing content so that people are latched to you and they are paying attention to you. Otherwise, you drift off into obscurity, and it's very hard to re-garner the attention that you built from a previous release. So in the past, yeah, we've definitely released a few demos, a couple EPs, all in the name of garnering some more attention and have something for our fans at the time. And I mean, for a bunch of 16, 17, 18-year-olds or even under 20, it's pretty hard to come up with the resources and money to put together an album. So we would release these demos and EPs just so we can have something for our fans and something that we could sell at our merch table. And then we would go, and once we had the money, we would go and record the album. I mean, that's, now that we're all adults and we have a lot more available to us, we're going to be doing more consistent albums. Right now, we've been doing an album every 2 years, and then an EP or demo every other year after that. So going into the future, we're going to be doing just albums.
Yeah. So do you think you'd repeat the same pattern again, like release a demo and then release a full length with probably maybe some of the same songs on it?
I think we're going to start shifting away from the demo and EP approach, and we're going to just do a full length. If we can get it down to 1 year per release, then we'd be happy with that. But we'll probably do it the proper way. We record the album within 6 months, have it mixed and mastered, and then we release a single and then a music video with one of the songs, and then we release the album.
Very nice. I noticed off the second demo you guys put out, which was the Swordsman, and there was one of those songs that didn't make it onto your latest EP that was called The Silence Belonging.
The Silence Prolonging?
The Silence Prolonging, yes. Is there a reason why that track was kind of left out?
It was kind of you'd have to ask Morgan. Morgan was the one on that song there, but it was more of a, it's kind of hard to explain. It's more of a, I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah. I'll ask one.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, all the newer material, there was 3 newer songs, and we decided to take one of the old songs from when we were Bolero, sort of to bridge the two bands together.
Yeah, it did kind of come off as kind of like a bridge track.
Yeah, that was the exact purpose of it. We just enjoyed the song, we enjoyed playing it, we had a good time re-recording it, so it was more of like a demo quality version of it, but the lyrics were slightly different, the progression was slightly different, the tempo was slightly different, so it was just a fun thing to do for that little release. And we like to go back and do some older stuff from time to time. And we're actually going to be working on a new version of an old song from back in the day with our newer extreme elements.
Yeah, speaking of elements, you guys have a lot of dynamics in your songwriting. Like, you guys have 3 vocalists on stage. You guys use a really large array from death metal vocals to like that kind of like belting Bruce Dickinson kind of vocals. And is it hard to like kind of pinpoint where to use a certain range of vocals when you're drumming out the lyrics and the vocals to a song or an album?
I've never really thought about it, to be honest. It just comes naturally for particular sections of the songs. I mean, I'll get different ideas as we're rehearsing, and I'll implement it. But for the most part, no. We just learn the song, and then I'll be writing the lyrics in the meantime. And it'll all just sort of fall into place. The vocal style itself, I try to put here and there that fits the aggressiveness of the song, the aggression of the song. Sorry, but no, I don't predetermine it.
Okay, so it's just like a natural flow, like just how it comes out when you're jamming away at it.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
Yeah, awesome. And another element, like you guys use a lot of different instrumentations. Like I've heard, like what I perceive it as flute or violin and different elements. Does that just like come to you? It's like you know it would sound good there, or is it like, hey, let's try incorporating this instrumental into a certain song?
It began as what we needed. We used to have a keyboard player, and he would write all that, and it would be that was his job. But since then, it's just been more of a trial by error and just figuring what sounded cool here and there. And it would just start off with a single instrument and then build from there. Since then, we've started just using just orchestral elements and choral elements. It's since we've kind of gone away from the whole folk and Celtic sort of instrumentation in that regard. In the newer stuff, it's mostly just big bombastic orchestras and choirs and lots of additional percussion, just to give it a big, huge sound.
Yeah, it definitely gives a unique sound to you guys' band for sure. So back to walking. I was just wondering, is this your guys' first experience in Europe? Like, will walking be the first experience in
It's
Europe?
our first time heading overseas. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you guys nervous, like being thrown into like one of the biggest metal festivals there is?
We're more excited than anything, yeah, because it'll be our first time heading overseas. It'll be our first time playing a festival of that magnitude, right? And we're gonna go and we're gonna enjoy ourselves. We're gonna play our hearts out and we're gonna party for a week.
Yeah, drink a lot of beer.
Yeah.
Do you guys kind of worry that like it's been 6 years since your guys' first release, and you've already reached like one of the pinnacles, like that's one of the pinnacle places to play in Europe. You guys kind of feel like, are you guys scared of like that might be plateauing, might have a plateau effect, or like how would you top playing walking with the next thing you guys do?
That's a good question. This is definitely a big thing for us, but playing this festival is opening a lot of doors for us as well, like with the promotion and everything, and hopefully everything goes well over there and we can continue to play shows like that and even tour in Europe, you know?
Get a more like consistent following across overseas.
Exactly.
Yeah, and probably follow into like just bigger things all
Playing this
worldwide.
festival is awesome for us as well because we're getting our name out there as well. So like anyone who hasn't heard of us over in Germany will if they're at Wacken, right?
Yeah, for sure. Alright, well that's all the questions I have for you guys, and I'm just gonna give you a little bit of time to say like where we can find your stuff and how we can listen to you guys.
One of the best methods would be going to our official website at www.vesperiametal.com, or you can find everything, all the links to our tour dates and merchandise on our Facebook page at facebook.com/vesperiametal.
Yeah. And what's next? Like after walking, like what's the next plan?
We're going to be doing the next album.
Awesome. Well, you heard it here first. This has been Johnny James with Vesperia.